Hello. My connection crashed again. Hello, Killenite. My stream crashed. But I think my internet's back, but we need to give it a minute. Well, because Final Fantasy XIV is gonna be like, ah, crap! You disconnected without actually disconnecting. We're gonna freak out for a minute. So yeah, I gotta wait for a second. How are you, Killenite? Hope you're doing well. I also hope you didn't come in as my stream broke. Hey, there we go. Now you just gotta wait. Let's see, is anything happening on the Discord while we wait for me to actually be able to log back in? Nothing there. Gotta check Lahi. Gotta check my FC. Ooh, God, that art, that loading screen art is so pretty though. Good lord. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully my shit don't break. This again. God, it always manages to break at the worst time. There we go. Hey, gun.
Search the nooks, search the crannies, search high, search low. Oh, sorry. I did not see you there. Are you lost? Father says I must rest. That will not do. No. I will stop. But not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching, and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop, but if I refuse, your job will not be finished with it. That will not do either. Wait, I have an idea. If you help me find the shinies, my job will be over. Your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes? Look under that rubble and find whatever there is to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not.
Oh, that's too bad.
Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny.
Looks like Kill a Knight unfortunately came in as my shit died. That's too bad. No shinies. No shinies. I found a I found a shiny.
What did you find? Not more rubble, I hope. Oh, this looks very special. Such pretty patterns. I've never seen one like this before. And how much is it worth? I'm an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half for you, half for me. Fair is fair.
Da 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 da. Okay, so now back over to Mordsuk. Here, your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Glazed wrigglers? You actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, all right? Only once.
Never fails. Shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance.
And then we'd have another 13th.
That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light.
Wow.
The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
Damn.
I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's It's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Okay. Sorry. Just checking to make sure that shit's still working. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the walls is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The Cares are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Thank you. Alice explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we've decided to keep an eye on Helric for now. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Wait, what? I was really confused by it for a second. Well, nothing more is going to happen for a little while. So, let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat and I'll make a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs. Oh, it's nothing, really. And we do so rarely have guests. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel for moms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrant could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Uh-oh. Umbra, Alice, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone... We'll assign search areas and split up. Any ideas where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gotten far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be all right. I'll cover the north and west then. You take everything from here to the south. Aw, man. You see no sign of Salric. Maybe he went further west. You scan your surroundings in search of Howrick and suddenly find yourself under attack.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will. Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it! There it is! Is that... Oh, oh no! Ulrich!
Oh.
We have to run!
Tessie! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Oh god. Oh fuck. Jesus.
No, 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 no! Forgive me, please.
Oh God. Jesus. I'm sorry, Umbra. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. It's just so unfair. Jesseline was always so cheery about with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. Wow, there's like no sound. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us. So I appreciate what you're doing here. Me? I could barely... I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. She cared about that sort of thing. About giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Ulrich is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Ulrich. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late, too slow, and I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Ulrich back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing my role here. I hope you will forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Ulrich's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course. She would have done the same. Farewell, Ulrich. Keep Tesline's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes. And a purpose. This damned light. Building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. But if we corrected the balance, Even if it were only a little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I've gained here to hurt them. Damn. Oh, here we go. All right. Forgive me, Umbra. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against the Blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way. With steel. Gods above. Feels like an age ago now. Miss Alizé, is there anything I can get you? Your swiftest tomorrow. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. But as you wish. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sinidas out. Shall we? Thank you for seeking me out, Umbra. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off again the moment we had decided upon a direction, but you have still to visit Elfino, have you? If I know my brother, he'll be at the cusp of discovering something vital to our success, if he hasn't already. I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being, but don't keep me waiting too long, eh? Alright. Time to get Alpha now. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Colusia, and will pick you up. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. That's right. Mounts like my grey friend over there are a common sight in these parts. But I gather you hail from further afield. More accustomed to chocobos, perchance? I hear there are few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you are plainly accustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best if I accompany you on your first flight. Any Zune worthy of their name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I'm ready the mounts. Okay, so now I need to go back up top. Let's get this blue quest so we can get the lookout points. Hold a moment, Sinner. Blah 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 blah. He's gonna update my sightseeing log. There it is. You want to fly an Amaro to Colusia? Well, I suppose Master Jemai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly. You can now travel to Colusia. Speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
We've arrived. This is Crackshell Beach on the eastern coast of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sinite attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance. That's Ulamore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Ulmorian elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one of the many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Ulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to counsel your ties with the Exarch during your stay here. Conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. Da, 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 da. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kalusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a spring of time. That will let him know you can be trusted. Here, there should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amaro until you are ready to return. Holy butts, this area is huge. There we are. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you've a taste for him. Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Elfino, eh? I know the one. A young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmor's richer than all of Novigrad put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Aye, I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him. You'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alfino joins you. Alright, so we're going up there, which means we're going for another ether current. To the southwest. I went the wrong way. Ah. Found you, little shit. Thought I was being clever. Ah, there we are. I don't even know if I can get over that right now, so what we're actually going to do is do what's on the ticket. I'm gonna continue with the main story. Ugh. And I'm probably only gonna go a little while longer today. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having? Mead. Fine choice. What will you be paying with? Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt that they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some sort of arrangement. Ah, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like it's not. Do that for me, and you can laze around here as long as you like. I may finish this one and then call it. Because we've been going 4 hours. I plan on streaming tomorrow too, and Wednesday. And then I'm going to be out of town for a weekend. Time to kill some fuckers. Ah, there's the other one. And there we go. Time to go yell at an old man. He's dead. Hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? He ain't there. Gone. Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Yulmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
It's the boy.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend.
It's the boy.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear.
He really is.
Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Aww.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Black Rose.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin-Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
That's the Alfino I know.
That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Always.
And so we take to the road once more.
Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, we may be lucky enough to see why I have yet set foot in Eulemore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west and then cross a small bridge. Oop, wrong button. I know there's one. Whatever. Clusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me! Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble! Hold on a moment. Yep. No way in hell am I going after that one. Have that, and we're just gonna head back up for now. Yeah. Straight shot to between those two buildings. Okay, I am streaming, right? Yes. What the fuck is Critical Role doing? Oh! It's their partnership with Elder Scrolls. Something I, no offense, don't really give a shit about. I think the fates, look out! Yeah, I'm fine. Oh. My poor heart. Thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings. But I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from when I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's not to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, their precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Alizé. There it is. There it is. Ah, yes. Alizé would have been well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amarang, Calusia is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let down our guard. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Are you all right? Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. West. I am exhausted. The Bright Cliff, eh? Alright, I'm back. By the way, if I have another stream drop, I'm probably gonna call it for the day. Up, we're going down. Up, we're coming back up. I'm waiting for my internet to stabilize before I do anything. Alright, there we go. Really? There we go. Doo, doo.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and
Got some
gentlemen,
shit in my
your
nose.
attention, please.
I think I got... It's that time of year when I get, like, dry spots that just scab over. I hate it. Hold on a sec.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Alright, I'm back. Had to get a tissue.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you! Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let us just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far been to naught. Duby's privilege of residency must be won via contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been made in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmor's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that... Well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Wonder if I reset you. Seems I cannot. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Free experience. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmor's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, aye, but at least it's safe, and the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. Yeah, that's why I'm a hero and you're not, dude. You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handouts of meal, and believe Yulmor is the answer to all their woes. And no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap it is that uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters. However unjust this system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yulmor's largess are doomed to suffer for their own independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I'm not convinced that Yulmor's generosity towards truly serves the best interests of Kalusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there's some miraculous solution to all of this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from the poverty and by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Yulmor's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Umbra. I've been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of the land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered the produce to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yolmorian lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? What is happening? Hello? I'm getting Discord badoops. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then, we must pay a visit to Moa, my supplier and right. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. It is just to the northwest of here. We're just gonna cut straight through the middle. Okay, I am tired, so I think I'm going to call it there. I may continue playing just to gather up some more ether currents, but I think I'm just gonna call it for today. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Sorry for all the drops in the stream, but I will see you